Yeah, Christian, Michelle, we've been here for a few hours now. If you take a look behind me, you can get a better idea of the scene. There's a Michigan State police cruiser, and then a little bit further down the road, maybe about a quarter mile or so, armored personnel carrier, a couple of other Michigan State police SUVs. This is the latest black eye for Aramark. The Detroit Free Press conducted an investigation, exposed drinking on the job. Maggots were found on or near food. And beyond that, they've had some actual food service issues. I'm Paul Cicchini doing some firearms training with the ATF. I'll show you what else they had in store for the media and prosecutors from across the state. Now, he told me starting a job next week, he's going to be holding a different sign that says "We Buy Gold." He's also reached out, he says, to Michigan Works, and he's been trying to work out a plan to start school again. When it comes to the funding structure in Michigan to repair roads and bridges, there are three main elements. The first is the Federal Highway Trust Fund. Second are vehicle registration fees. And the third comes from the state's fuel tax.
I have to just figure out the best way to hide this. As long as I don't go through my phone, then they'll see that I have the Rick for Michigan app and Fox News.
That's Michigan Republican Party staffer Natalie Collins speaking with MI-GOP intern Kyle Anderson. They're about to head into a private home in West Bloomfield, where a fundraiser is being held for Democratic candidate for governor Mark Schauer.
Yeah, I think we saw you at the last. Yeah, we were at the event last. Yep. Yeah. Oh. Yep. Yeah. I was with him then too. Yeah, we heard people talking about this event last week, so then we looked it up.
This is like my hometown. Oh. Well, head over there and get the sign.
The video tracks their moves throughout the home, including a conversation about whether they should introduce themselves to Schauer's running mate, Lisa Brown.
Should we go introduce ourselves to Lisa? Oh, let's creepily go over here.
They even criticized the clothing of attendees.
The guy has a really ugly shirt on.
And the decor.
His house is very 80s. Like, look at all the tile that was selected to use around the fireplace.
Schauer Communications Director Zach Pohl told Fox 17 that during the event, he got a text about two people who were in the home who didn't seem to fit in. However, he said the campaign couldn't come up with a reason to simply kick them out, but they were confronted and questioned.
We literally went online and we both wanted to go to a Mark Schauer event. And we just Googled it and it came right up. Well, we just Googled Mark Schauer events. Yeah, there was a Facebook event too. So you guys sure make it easy, which is awesome. Yeah. Okay, that lady was freaking me out.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we're done.
Or like at least lay low for a little bit.
Same-sex marriage supporters and legal observers filling a courtroom and an overflow courtroom today to hear the case about Michigan and its constitutional ban on same-sex marriage. Now, as supporters filled the courtroom inside the Sixth Circuit Court of Appeals, a rally was also held downtown.
We all need somebody to lean on.
There were speakers, singers, and lots of cheering.
Full equality!
All in support of marriage equality. A rally that attracted folks from across the Midwest, Michigan, Ohio, Kentucky, and Tennessee, just as cases from each state were being heard in front of a three-judge panel in the U.S. Sixth Circuit Court of Appeals. Even though the mood was lively outside, it seemed everyone's thoughts were aimed at what was going on behind those closed courtroom doors.
It's very difficult. I mean, we've been very fortunate because all of our doctors and the hospitals have been very open to our family. But if anything were to ever happen to my wife, I have no legal decision-making in their well-being. And in the eyes of the law, I'm treated as a roommate or an aunt. And that's horrible because they call me mom.
Julie and Betsy McKeeman were married in San Francisco, but call Warren, Michigan their home.
It's important for us to be here to set an example for our kids, to show them how important this is to our family and to all the other families like ours.
Marriage is it's the oldest institution on the face of the earth, and it's rooted in scriptures, where marriage came from. So there's no question that most people who are Bible believers and understand the scriptures know that marriage is between one man and one woman.
Phil Burris is the president of a group called Citizens for Community Values. In addition to speaking against homosexuality, Burris also encourages people to leave behind that so-called lifestyle.
If people want to engage in the behavior, that's their right. But we know that there's lots of people that do not want to have the temptation of same-sex attraction, and there's a way out.
But for those like April DeBoer and Jane Rouse, this is not a lifestyle. This is their life. A life together that they hope will one day be legally recognized.
We can't make any predictions. We're just going to wait and see. And, we hope. That's all we have right now is hope that, we will be recognized as a family. A legal family.
Now, no decisions in Michigan's gay marriage case were made today. That'll be handed down at a later time. Now, regardless of the outcome, it's likely an appeal will be filed. Now, it first will be filed to the entire bench in the Sixth Circuit Court of Appeals. That's called an en banc hearing. Now, whether the court agrees to that will determine how quickly the case could potentially make its way to the U.S. Supreme Court. Reporting in Cincinnati, Paul Cicchini, Fox 17 News. Yeah, Christian, Michelle, the MRAPs are massive, built to withstand explosions from mines or IEDs out on the battlefield. But as the needs of the military have changed, they've made their way into West Michigan, just as the needs of local law enforcement have also changed.
You've had two presidents now saying that it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when these terrorist attacks are going to happen. And we have to be ready for that.
That's part of the reason law enforcement agencies across Michigan are getting mine-resistant ambush-protected vehicles, or MRAPs. There are at least 7 in West Michigan, in Allegan, Berry, Berrien, Calhoun, Muskegon, and Newaygo counties. They look intimidating, 10 feet tall, 20 feet long, weighing nearly 39,000 pounds. Some even come with gun turrets.
We don't have any large guns affixed to it. The vehicle itself has no weapons affixed to it. It's a tool to transport and secure officers is what it is.
Law enforcement agencies have been able to obtain the vehicles through a military surplus program called LESO, the Law Enforcement Support Office.
We're utilizing equipment that's coming from the military. It's not changing our tactics. It's not changing our civil responsibility to the people that we have. We're not becoming a different police department or police society, if you will.
According to the military's Disposition Services website, the program has transferred more than $4.3 billion worth of equipment to local law enforcement. That includes 6 vehicles in Muskegon, 3 of which are armored, and 4 in Berry County.
We need the people of West Michigan to understand these vehicles, this equipment that we have is here to serve them. All right, and in doing so, we need to protect our officers at the same time.
While the most obvious acquisitions include the armored personnel carriers, agencies can also get their hands on weapons, Camelback hydration systems, even toilet paper. But groups like the ACLU say this is leading to the militarization of police.
That's one of those fine lines you got to walk. You have to have somebody who understands what people's rights are as the leader in your community who has one of these things. And this is, like I said, a tool of last resort.
The Civil Liberties Group says it's time to de-escalate and reduce the arsenals of law enforcement. But departments argue MRAPs can also act as a deterrent.
This type of vehicle here, like I've said earlier, offers that protection for us. If it's something that we can take to a scene and we don't need to use it, then I'm all for it.
The Muskegon County Sheriff's Department has taken its MRAP to community events to let locals inside. Here in Berry County, Sheriff Leaf tells me he welcomes questions from locals so he can tell them what the vehicle is all about. Live in Hastings, Paul Cicchini, Fox 17 News.
And Paul, from a tactical position, this really does offer them a lot of safety if they're going into a situation where a suspect has a gun or is holding people hostage.
Yeah, Christian, Sheriff Leaf used a really interesting example. He said, look, you've seen videos or live shots even on the news of law enforcement officers running into homes to taking off their bulletproof vests and giving it to a potential victim and then running with that victim to shelter. He says these vehicles prevent those situations because obviously anytime a law enforcement officer has to take his or her bulletproof vest off to protect another person, that potentially puts 2 people in danger. Christian?
All right, Paul, thank you for that.